Yeah.
All right, guys. So this is the Bitcoin chart right now. You can tell I'm on the 4 hour chart because that's really when you're looking at these bigger dumps like this is really all you want to be looking at. Anything below this is you're just asking to give yourself a brain aneurysm. So we're looking down at this chart here. Obviously, you guys can see big sell off, right? And if I turn on the indicator, you can kind of see where RSI is starting to show you that even though price action is going up, we have some, it's called bearish divergence. And you can kind of do this with different indicators, usually the momentum ones and the strength ones. But you guys can see that this is going on a downtrend, yet price action is going up. And usually we see volume downtrending, but this is just stable. So there's some minor bearish divergence, but obviously we see it confirmed here with this break below this level. It was a local support, about like right here. Once you saw this break and it was significant volume, then you saw this, this probably freaked everybody out. But for a while, for about half a day, you see this huge wick and you're like, wow, that's bullish, like people bought that up. But obviously they weren't done. And by they, I'm really thinking this is work from the institutions, people with larger pockets than all of us combined, who are know where this is going. They know this is going to Valhalla, right? But they don't want to buy up here because this is right under resistance. Smart money doesn't buy here. I'm not saying that you're dumb if you buy here. I bought a little bit here too, but you just know you're buying here with a pretty big risk that it could come back down. So reason why I'm pretty confident is, and I'll show you guys the VPVR first. But if you guys can see from just this time frame for the last 3 weeks or so, you guys can see that the volume concentration is right. We're literally battling this line right here. So it's about 46. What is it, about 47? Let's call it 47 is basically the tug of war point. So right now, Bears are barely winning right now, right? But what's also funny is that this fib that I drew last week is right on top of this line. It's like the fib doesn't know that's where the VPVR is. I didn't know that that's where the VPR is, but it's showing you now that there's confluence here, and there's also two other lines of support and resistance. So really, this is like, think of this as like a box, and really what this is, it's a demand zone. This is just showing you that there's institutional money, bigger buyers that are bringing out their checkbooks and they're buying BTC in this area. As you guys can see, it did go lower, but this is just a gift for them. This is, unfortunately, if you sold here, I don't think that it will come back. It might come back lower and we might get a little right here. But again, you guys can see we have, this is major support right here. And other thing too, it's almost half over with the volume, and volume isn't really even reached average yet. So yeah, this candle looks intimidating, right? It's almost as large as this green candle. But why I'm really happy with how this green candle came out is something I was telling you guys about called an institutional fingerprint. So basically how you identify this, and again, I could be wrong. I'm wrong a lot, so don't crucify me if I am. But right here with this one in particular, just look at this price action right here, not including this red candle, just these two. So you see this, right? And it's huge volume, right? It's double to this. It's almost triple the volume average. But then you see a wick there. So this is how you spot an IFP. I'm gonna say IFP. It's a lot shorter than saying the three words. So first thing is obviously everybody's gonna want to look at the 15 minutes, right? Everyone's gonna want to look at the 15 minutes and try to, but you can't really tell here. And you're like, all right, I'm gonna be a little bit more patient. Look at the 1 hour. You can kind of see it on the 1 hour here, but even then, you see things going back, but it really stops at this level, right? There's really no candle closes below this about 46,000 range. So I guess it'd be higher risk to take a long on the 1 hour, because say you buy right here, I mean, you're pretty much broke even. Yeah, you could have scalped back and forth, but this is a waste of time. So you go to the 4 hour, and now you start to see it a lot more clearly. And what I'm looking at here and what I've been taught is signs of an institutional fingerprint. So wick, you want to see a significant wick. This next, so again, remember with red candles, the close is at the bottom, right? It opened at top, it closed here at the bottom, and then this green candle opened at the bottom and closed at the top. So these closes, right, are lined up with each other. This one has a little bit of a wick, so it showed you it kind of went down, probably scared some people. They got shook out. But nonetheless, this started here. As you guys can see, it's engulfed. That's the word, engulfed by this bearish candle. So as you guys can see, I'll zoom in a little bit more. This green candle fits within the red candle, right? Even the wick fits within the red candle. Yeah, we got the wick down here, but as you guys can see, this red candle engulfs this bullish candle. So match that with volume, right? And usually the sign is the volume is going to be significant, but it will not outmatch the red candle. So basically what this is seeing right here is an IFP basically saying, hey, maybe it'll come back and touch these levels, and we could range in this little zone right here for a while, which I don't know if that'd be ideal for altcoins. I think everything would stay pretty stagnant or red for as long as it ranges here, because it'd probably
Oh no, I'm fine. I don't want anything now.
it'd probably be
you
pretty
have whatever
volatile.
You want, mate.
You know, we could see boom, 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 and then either break up or break down. I'm anticipating and I'm betting on a break up, right? But nonetheless, this is what we're looking at. This is how you spot an IFP, right? And this is what we're looking at right now. Obviously, we're watching this candle, but volume isn't crazy. Like you guys said, and we were discussing earlier, there's bullish news with Tether and Bitfinex being basically acquitted. They got a slap on the wrist. They probably paid 1 day's worth of profits and 18 million, which is kind of a laughable joke. They'll probably go and make that in this next day, right? But I'm going to show you guys another example of where these IFPs came into place and why more so it results in a reversal than a continuation. One of the times I can think about that there was a lot of IFPs probably put in, but reverted or negated, and the bearish trend continued was the coronavirus crash. So that a lot of times I'm sure people try to get in, but it just continued. You know, when you have hysteria like this, it just, there's really no stopping it, right? So like even here, you saw a little bit of an attempt, maybe that's the best way to put it, an attempt to stop the bleeding, but it didn't. But this is what I'm looking at right here. So this was the IFP that basically, I guess you would like to say, maybe started this bull run that we've had, right? Because we had this downtrend, and ever since then it's been up, hasn't gone back down to this level. So again, we spot the same differences, right? You have a pretty overwhelming candle. There's a pretty much good downtrend, from 8,000 down to 4,000. So boom, 50% in the matter of about a day. I mean, we're seeing that right now, so it's nothing crazy. But nonetheless, this downtrend was, even from about February 12th. So about this time last year is when we started to see this downtrend going, right? And obviously it's a downtrend because there's lower highs, lower lows. It tried to break up, got rejected. Volume was extremely low, not extremely low, but just average, right? And then you see this dump, and that's when they announced the lockdowns, right? Or I think it was in LA and New York first. It wasn't even around the world first, but this is what we're looking at here, another IFP. Again, the dump, you see the long wick, the bearish engulfing candle for the bull, but this one, the volume far surpassed the volume of the red candle. As you guys can see, price came back down and touched this level again, but boom, another stand from the bulls saying, nope, price is not going lower. And as you guys can see, ever since then, it did not touch those levels. So from there, the blood clot was put in. And as you guys can see, we're at where we're at right now. So this is what I'm suspecting is we have this right now. We might range a little bit. We're going to come back down because they love to inflict mass pain on the markets. They want to shake out the weak hands. You know, everybody coming into crypto thinking they're going to become millionaires by tomorrow. It's a rude awakening, right? So I'm expecting to see a second dip like this. So don't be surprised if we go up to 50, 52, and then we come back down to 47, 46, just to really see who's in this for the long run. You know, we don't want any daisies trading. We want lines in here, because with lines holding the bags, that's how we're going to get to our goal of 100K, right? We're not going to get it with
42.
Say again.
I think we're looking at 42.
And
I doubt you will go lower than 40, 45. Look at today, yesterday,
You
and the
know,
day before.
I learned something in my life. Whatever I doubt is the truth.
so what I would challenge you both to do is, we have our opinions and we have our feelings, right? And obviously I would say we're all pretty much bullish long term, right? We all want this thing to go to $1 bazillion, because then we're going to have $1 bazillion each. But again, we have no idea what's going to happen. We just have to react real time. And even these charts, we're delayed. All this stuff that we're seeing, even though we're seeing it quote unquote in real time, this is like at least a minute delayed. So all these price action, these sells that you're seeing, they're still delayed nonetheless. So if we go back and let's test Daniel's theory of 42 and see what that lines up with, and let's see if that lines up with any significant levels of support.
Can he explain 32 Fibonacci, or someone can explain?
Oh, 382, you mean?
32% Fibonacci. Daniel just wouldn't shut up about it, so maybe he can explain it. Or Michael can explain it. Someone can explain to me.
It's it's close to 32, but it's 382. So remember, the 618 is the most important of the levels in the Fibonacci, at least in my opinion. That's where we see price usually end up on and blow off tops, and then we also see reversals there, right? So this is a really important level. But remember, the 382 is just the flip side of the 618. So the 382 and the 618 are related. They're just like twins, right? One has brown hair, one has blonde hair. So with this, the fib that I have drawn, I don't see any levels of 42. Honestly, if we go to 42, Daniel, I would expect it to go down to 40. So we really don't want to lose this level, because if you see right here, there's not a lot of candles. So usually what we call this right here is a gap, right? Because you see all this, you see these big long candles, right? And think of it like a house on stilts. What you really want to see is market structure like this. We know this is solid, right? Because it's gone up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. We've seen multiple points of support. So boom, you see this support right here. You see the support right here as well. The volume is increased. So it's showing you that, hey, this is a demand zone. As you guys can remember, this is when everybody said, oh, the bull runs over. And, you know, it was a nice run and 40K was pretty high, but we'll have to go down to 12K and fill the weekly demand zone and blah, 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 blah. Dude, all we did was go down, go below 30,000 for what? And then we went to 28,000 for what? Probably 15, 30 minutes. And then all of a sudden, it's funny how everybody just kind of starts changing their narrative, right? But as soon as this happens and we come up, what happened to all those bears? I don't know. They probably went back into hibernation. So this 43 level right here, as you guys can see, kind of lines up with some of these wicks.
I don't want it. I don't want that food, thanks. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yeah, I don't want it. Don't put food on my plate that you've been dribbling over on my plate. I don't want it.
Yeah, man, that sounds gross. Mike's on, by the way.
No worries, no worries. I don't think he realized he's with his kiddos.
That's funny though. Anyways,
I'm gonna do a Zoom call on the mute button.
Yeah, right. So, as you guys can see, there's a big, what I would call a gap here. And it's just because we went straight up, right? And we did have good volume, but it's almost like this area is lonely. You know, you think about it and you're like, well, you know, this area looks at this area right here. And it's like, well, why did this one get so much action? You know, I'm lonely. I only got, you know, maybe a day's worth of candles, where this got 2 weeks. Well, this was February 8th to about a month worth of candles, right? So this is what we call like strong market structure, significant market structure. So the chances of us getting a dump down to here, I'd say, are pretty high. I would say, and what's funny is we could go higher, because this dump here, guys, I'm sorry to tell you, I know it hurt all of us. It hurt me too, but this is barely like 20%. Like, this is nothing. This is really nothing. Like Daniel was saying, and everybody else who's been in this a little bit longer than me, 2017, 2014. I mean, you guys saw like sometimes full retracements, like Dogecoin.
No,
right?
I know, but the argument against that is that as we go into the future and the numbers get bigger, the amount of in Bitcoin, the market cap gets bigger, these retractions get smaller and smaller, right? Because the reason you can have this kind of traction when Bitcoin was 5,000 is because, I mean, you know,
you would hope and you would think so, but again, that's thinking that, and that's even thinking that I've got, because I took stock classes and I also took crypto classes, and there's a lot of similarities, but then there's a lot of differences in what crypto. I mean, crypto is like the wild, wild west. Like, at least it seems like in the institution, the legacy markets, like I'd say stocks and commodities, you know, you don't see 20% swings. Like, you see maybe 2 or 3% and the market's freaking out, you know, but that's because they have so much more market cap in them, right? So yes, we are increasing in market cap, but on the grand scheme of things, we're only at 1 trillion, guys. Gold is almost near 100 trillion market cap, and that's the smallest commodity class. You know, derivatives market is in the quadrillions. We're at 1 trillion, y'all. So these 20%, 30% swings, we haven't even seen a 50% retracement yet. And 50% is considered healthy. Like, whenever you see these altcoin rips go up, you're expecting at least a 50% retracement. And what about a 62%? What would people do if we retrace 62%? Say if we went from 58 all the way down 62%, people will lose their freaking minds. What is 62%? Wow, that'd be insane. And what's funny, look where it lines up, almost right onto this next fib level, which I don't really use this one, but it just shows you guys how much truth there is in this. So look, a 62% retracement, forget the fib. Say we did a 62% retracement. Look where this lines up. It's on another level of support. Look at this. I can't make this up, guys. It will literally line up with a significant resistance and support right here. And remember,
we had about 6 to 8 of those in 2017. 62
exactly.
is completely normal.
Exactly.
It's actually really healthy for Bitcoin.
Imagine the field day that MSNBC and Peter Schiff and all these Bitcoin bears would love. They would have a field day if that happened. But the real traders and the people who are in this and know what the hell we got into and what you signed up for when you got into the crypto market, you would know that this is like, okay, it sucks. You know, I'm sure a lot of us lost a lot of money, but now's the time to get out of your positions. Well, I would hope, you know, I'll tell you guys this, whatever you're in, and if you are down and you see Bitcoin break below like this level and it's significant, that should be your stop loss. You know, even if it breaks below this supply level right here, this 46,000, and it's not a wick, and you see a candle close of about an hour. If you see an hour or 4 hour candle close below this level right here, this bottom level, so not a wick, but a candle close out here, that's a sell signal, guys. I know you might be underwater, but at least for your short-term stuff or midterm, unless you're holding it long-term and you're up, that's a sell signal. Because if it goes down here, I mean, yeah, it could stop right here, but there's not significant volume. So this would show you it's kind of a weak support. This next strongest support is right here, because you guys can see it with the volume. So that's an additional from here to here. That's an additional 12%. Guys, if Bitcoin drops 12%, that's like another 30% for altcoins, 20 to 30% for altcoins. So, you know, stop the bleeding. You know, we're down 20, 30% on a lot of our altcoins right now. If it breaks below this level, again, candle close, not wick. Don't get faked out. All these people feel stupid for selling their Bitcoin for so cheap. And the institutions that are buying at this level were like, thank you for this gift. Really, thank you for this early gift. So yeah, there is a chance we go to 42, but honestly, Daniel, I think if we do go to 42, we're going to go lower. I think we would go down to at least 40. And we could even go down to like 38, because there's some major support on 38 level as well. And you guys can see right here, it's not just support, but it was confirmed resistance and support. So he goes up, goes down, gets rejected. So this is kind of like the seesaw line, right? The tug of war line. Got rejected, went up, support, then took off. So this would be, I guess, the next major support target if we broke below this level. I'm just telling you guys now, if we get a candle close of a higher time frame below this box, you know, Bitcoin likes to fuck around with people, and they like, again, it's psychological warfare, guys. This is a war zone. So they want to inflict max pain, because it shows who's going to hold and who's going to let go as soon as a sign of a little downtrend starts, right? But we seem good right now. And let's zoom into the 1 hour just to show you guys kind of the battle that's going on right now. This is like D-Day on the shores of France. It's just back and forth. Like you think you have an edge, and then you're down. So anybody trying to trade in this is, man, you guys either have money to blow or you just like losing money, because this is terrible. This is terrible right here. This is not what you want to get into. So what I would wait. So now that you guys see why I'm happy and I'm bullish, right? Now you're asking, all right, Michael, now that you got this, where would you enter into a trade? What seems to be safe? So like I told you guys, a break below 46. And again, not a wick, but a candle close. I wouldn't even look at the 1 hour, maybe the 1 hour, but you just prepare to maybe get back in, because there's a lot of times where, let me show you here. There's a lot of times, look, this broke into this and then it broke back up. So it's just a whipsaw, right? It's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I would wait for a 4 hour confirmation. So if this bottom, the solid, not the wick, right, closes right here, that's a sell signal. Even if it's $100 below, that's a sell signal. And we would want volume to be at least average or slightly above, to show that there is a majority of people, right? Or there's more so than the average conviction that is going to go down. So that would be your sell signal. But let's focus on what everybody came here for, up only, right? I would say a break above this level, so just under 50K, if we had some volume, would be good. Remember that we have this trend line that's by the time we could probably get up here, it's probably about 51 or 52,000, maybe even over here. Because remember, this is, keep in mind, if we break it over here, that's only 3 or 4 days from now. So after a significant correction like this, we're probably going to range right here, probably come up, probably come down, scare people, right? I'm expecting price action to kind of go like this. And we'll see if I'm right. I'm going to leave this up on the chart. But I'm expecting price action to go like this. Come back down, maybe come up and touch, but then eventually come back into the zone, scare the shit out of people. Then we break through, we struggle with this line for a little bit, come back up. And then obviously that line is where we were, right? That seemed like the bottom. And then we got a rude awakening, right?
Just yesterday, it went back to 55K from like 45, 46.
And what's funny is it almost came back to 50K, but that was a wick, right? So if we look at, a lot of people probably got faked out right there. So oh my gosh, we're going back up. This is a short dump, and boom, sold off right away. So basically saying that the bears are not done, the bears still have conviction, or there's market makers in play that need Bitcoin to range in this area, right? Because they know what's coming. And that's what I think it is. I think they are making sure Bitcoin ranges here. They're filling up their bags. Everybody who has free money. I mean, if I'm all tied up in my trades right now, which I'm not doing too bad, which is a blessing. But if I did, I would be buying all in this area, not just Bitcoin, but man, Ethereum's on sale right now, guys. Like, I really wish I had free funds to buy some more Ethereum. And if some of my altcoin trades break even in the next couple of days, I'm going to buy some Ethereum. That's me. I'm not telling you guys what to do, but that's me. So I would look for a break above this level. Obviously, with volume confirmation, you would want to see a pretty significant candle. Once we get here, if you miss this breakout, right, and don't chase it up to this line, you don't want to buy under resistance. What you want to do is, if it breaks through, know that most likely it's going to bounce off of there and come back down. And then the retest, right, the bounce back up, that's what you want to buy. This is like the safest entry that you could get in crypto. Oh, shoot. This is bounce and then bounce up. So for that, there's not much more I can say. I'm pretty much beating a dead horse at this point. You guys know where I'm